So, good afternoon and welcome back to Visit Fylde Coast. It's gone cloudy. It's quite warm. But yesterday's sun shined off. Oh, here we go, look. I've literally just turned the camera on and wouldn't you know, there's a siren. Here he comes. Emergency services to the rescue. So anyway, this is your no-nonsense guide to Blackpool North Pier. That's a nice bit of alliteration for a gloomy afternoon, isn't it? So we're going to go and take a look around North Pier, and we're going to go and find out all the information that you are going to need to know on a need-to-know basis. So make sure that you've subscribed to Visit Fylde Coast on YouTube. Make sure that you've hit the bell and clicked all notifications, not just some of them. And the best way to make sure that you keep up with what's happening is to sign up for your Visit Fylde Coast email newsletter. So you can get that at visitfyldecoast.info/newsletter. And then you'll not forget me, will you? Right, let's go and have a look, shall we? So I'm filming this on Thursday the 18th of July. And it's 1:45 and we're obviously at Talbot Square, which of course is where the trams go up, the new extension up to North Railway Station. But we're not talking about trams today, we're talking about North Pier, because it's a little while since we went and had a look round North Pier. So I thought we'd do a no-nonsense guide to everything that you ever wanted to know. Right, well, here it is. It's one of 3 piers in Blackpool. We're greedy in Blackpool, we've got 3. And all of these shops and attractions, the amusements and everything at the front are all open pretty much throughout the year. So you can use these, I would say, pretty much all the time. The actual deck of the pier is open seasonally. So it's free entry. It's free entry to obviously the amusements, but it's free entry as well to the pier itself, which is where we're going to go next. So these are your ice cream kiosks, where you get your ice creams and your donuts and whatnot. And this is the deck of the pier, so it's free entry. Starts with opening at February half term, and it's open daily during February half term. And then at weekends, except for the school holidays, so at Easter and at Spring Bank and whatnot, it's open daily again. And then daily opening every day during the summer holidays, and pretty much up to the end of the traditional illumination season at the end of half term in October. So it's a proper traditional old-fashioned pier is North Pier. The box office used to be, I think it's still opening there, but it used to be in there, and Sooty used to live in there, because this is where Sooty the glove puppet was discovered. And there is one of the very first, if not the original, Sooties actually in here, look. Sooty was, oh hold on, we've got the light on him, haven't we? There you go, that's better if I stand at the back of it. So Sooty was discovered by Harry Corbett at Blackpool North Pier in a joke shop in 1948. So you can say hello to Sooty on your way past. There's plenty of bars and places to sit down and eat. There's a nice little cafe here with outside seating if it's a nice day, or inside ones if you want one of them, and dog friendly in the cafe. And then you get onto the actual deck itself. So this is not packed full of rides and entertainment like its other sister, brother, call it whatever you will, Central Pier down there. This is a traditional promenading pier, built back in the day when people used to promenade and walk up and down in their finery. It looks as if the little train's been moved. There used to be a little train on North Pier which ran pretty much here actually, and it's disappeared. Wonder if it's coming back. If you know the answer to that question, pop a comment underneath. So back in the day, this would have been full from one end to the other with deck chairs and people all sitting enjoying the view. It looks like they've been doing quite a bit of work on the deck boards as well. It's an awful drop over the edge. Oh, shiver me timbers. Shiver me timbers. So as well as the cafes and the bars at the entrance to the pier, there's cafes and bars at the other end of the pier. Now last year when I came looking around on here, there were some hummingbird hawk moths actually on these plant pots, and I was beside myself with excitement. I was, because you don't see them very often, let alone in the middle of practically the sea, which is what there would have been. There you go, there's Harry Corbett on that planter. So at the end of the pier, there's the Bloom and the Garden bars. And there's all these little kiosks as well, which are lovely. So they sell sweets and rock and all that kind of stuff. There you go, look. You can pop in and get all your seaside souvenirs and your sweeties. And of course, North Pier is also the one which is home to the Joe Longthorne Theatre. Blackpool North Pier Theatre was rechristened a few years ago, and it's now called the Joe Longthorne Theatre and the Joe Longthorne Studio, which is a smaller performance space that's kind of at the entrance to the theatre. That felt like a spot of rain. I've got my sunglasses on, which is why I popped them on top of my head. And I can't tell how bright it is. It looks quite dark to me. It's probably the tide turning, as my dad would say. It's not turning, it's coming in. If you're around in autumn and spring in particular, and to some extent in winter, you might be lucky enough to see a starling murmuration at North Pier. And at bedtime, i.e. when it starts to go dusk, the starlings gather by literally their thousands on all these big buildings here on shore, and they swoop and they glide and they fly all in a great big, what you can only call a cloud, to roost for the evening on the pier. It's quite an amazing sight, especially if you're lucky enough to catch it with a proper West Coast Blackpool sunset at the back of it. It's starting to rain. I don't know. Look at this seagull with his mussel. You know what they do? They pick them off the beach, and then they drop them on the decking. They fly above the decking and drop them, and as they fall onto the deck, it breaks them, and then they can eat the fish inside. There you go, ice creams. Little souvenir kiosk where you can get your games on the grab machines if you've got any ability with them. So the tickets that you buy for rides on any of the piers are only available on the pier that you buy the ticket for. So if you buy tickets for these rides on North Pier, they're only available for the Helter Skelter and for the traditional carousel, which is in the greenhouse thing at the side here. They look like they've been doing a lot of work on the decking. Look, there's a lot of new boards being put in. It must be like maintaining the Forth Bridge, because the weather, you've got no idea how bad it is until you've been here in winter on a bad day. Oh, isn't that lovely? Do 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 do. Oh, it's making me feel dizzy just watching it go round. It's beautiful, that, isn't it? Isn't it lovely? Just managed to catch it all as it was going round. So this is the Joe Longthorne Theatre. They've been painting. I can smell paint. It smells lovely, that. I think they've done these edges. So this is a theatre, which of course is open during shows. I can't imagine for 1 minute the door will be. Oh, it's not. It's locked. That's all locked up. And then down here is the Joe Longthorne studio. And this is the list of people that have performed. Don't know whether you can actually see through the window. No, they've covered them up. I've been in here. I came down the pier one day when somebody was in the space, and she let me in and let me have a look round inside. So there's a little bit of a museum about Joe Longthorne, and then there's a separate smaller space. So I would have said you get a couple of 100 people in there, perhaps a few more. So when you don't want a huge theatre area for a performance, that's where they use. So this, if you remember, used to be off the end of there, that way. There used to be a jetty that went down a level and forward. So you were fishing off a jetty, and the fishermen used to use it, and it got washed away. Well, it got damaged beyond repair in a storm. I bet I'd have been about 10 maybe. So I reckon it was probably about late 70s, mid to late 70s. Not sure exactly when. But oh, it used to give me the heebie-jeebies, that did. So this is Bloom and the Garden. This is the garden bar. So you can have a nice afternoon in there, listening to the music and enjoying the sunshine. Seriously, it's really popular, this, and it's always packed when they've got people on performing and entertainers. That's a really nice space. And then this is the indoor Bloom bar, which is a bit of a kind of a cocktails, gin, nice kind of space. I'll not go in there and set the horses running. I'll just show you through this door. There you go. No sportswear allowed in the Bloom bar or the garden, because it's actually very nice. I mean, you can see when you look inside. Look how nice that is. It's beautiful. Oh look, I found the train. It's stabled inside. It's stabled inside here. In fact, it looks as if it's been completely refurbished. It looks very clean and tidy and shiny. So that's the little train that runs up and down the length of the pier, so you can have a little ride, which is very nice actually. It's very, very kind of old-fashioned and in keeping with the ethos of a traditional seaside pier. Goodness, that's coming quickly. Just in the length of time it's taken us to walk down the pier, look how far it's come in. It was kind of here when we set off walking. Goodness. You see how you easily get cut off on a sandbank. Still lovely, even if it's a bit gloomy. Still a lovely day. So this is the cafe area, which is really rather nice. I think that's what we could do to Kevin. Ice cream for dogs. And then this way to family fun. So up there is where you go into the amusements. And here you can have a right good view, looking straight along the pier. So up there is where you go into the amusements. Just at the top of the stairs is the sign for the toilets, which are just inside that door. And now it's raining again, in the words of the song. So, I hope you've enjoyed that no-nonsense guide. No-nonsense Jane guide to North Pier. Anti-internet Jane. Internet Auntie-Jane, I think, weren't it? So there you go. That's where the toilets are. Everything that's on the pier, opening times, what there is to do, what there is to see. Sorry I couldn't organise any flag-cracking hot weather, but I did my best. So there you go, that's our guide to North Pier. So don't forget, make sure that you've subscribed and got all notifications enabled. Don't forget to sign up for your Visit Fylde Coast email newsletter and give this video a like, last but not least, and help that algorithm to do its stuff. And until next time, we'll see you later. Bye for now.